Danger, you're looking so good. Oh my gosh, I love that little side shave you got going. Okay, I'm gonna mute you guys so you can do whatever you want. Play your music, have your coffee, whatever you want in your space. And then let's just go ahead and get started. So find a comfortable seat on your mat. And especially in the morning, I like to kind of move around as I settle in. So it might feel really good to stretch your arms up or stretch from side to side. Maybe roll your head around or roll your shoulders around. So just any little movements that call to you this morning that your body is calling for. And then as you're ready, no rush, just settle into stillness. So eventually just sit up nice and tall with length in your spine, length in the back of your neck. Soften through your face, your neck, your shoulders. And then just be intentional with where you place your hands. So hands can come to your heart, hands can rest on your lap, maybe one hand to your heart space, one hand to your low belly. And then just on your own today, take a few deep breaths. So really great big inhales that fill you up. And then really big exhales that just let go. Just a release with each exhale. So you can go at your own pace. Take about 3 or 4 just great big breaths. Think of breathing in whatever you want to bring in to your new year, whatever you want to cultivate for your new year. And then breathing out, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, that you no longer need. And if that's too much to think about this morning, then just feel your breath as it moves in and out. And feel that expansion, that possibility with each inhale, and then that letting go, that release with each exhale. Doesn't have to be anything specific or particular. You're just feeling it, embodying it, living it. And then after you've taken a few just great big deep breaths, seal your lips and start to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose, gentle constriction in the back of your throat. And see if you can not only now feel your breath as it flows through you, but also hear that whisper noise, that oceanic sound that your breath makes as it moves in and out. See if you can make your inhales move all the way down into your low belly, your low back, and then take every single exhalation all the way to emptiness, all the way to the very, very bottom. So take as much time here. This is your morning seated meditation. So take as much time here as you would like, just connecting with yourself, connecting with your own internal rhythm, connecting with your breath. And then when you feel ready to bring in some movement, absolutely no rush, but eventually we'll transition onto our hands and our knees. So tabletop position in your own time. And from there, you guys know where we're going. We're just exploring our own intuitive movement. So once you've arrived on hands and knees, just start to move in your own way. Start to feel into the mobility of your spine, your shoulders, your hips. So when I first started out doing this intuitive movement at the beginning of basically COVID, I basically stuck with cat-cows or hip circles. And then slowly I started to get more creative and more intuitive. And now there are limitless ways in which I can think of to move my body. So close your eyes, go inward. Try to get out of your habits, so the habitual ways in which you move. And really go inward. Feel what your body is calling for. So maybe you move your hips to one side and just kind of stay there for a moment. Maybe you move through your shoulders or even your elbows, so letting your heart just kind of melt towards the ground, feeling the mobility in your mid-spine. Maybe you come all the way forward down onto your belly. Play with some movement there. So there's absolutely no right or wrong, and we're just kind of taking an inventory of how our body feels this morning. So how does your spine feel after a long night of sleep? How does your neck feel? How do your shoulders feel this morning and your hips? So just think of bringing your awareness into your body. Get out of your mind and allow yourself to feel as much as possible. And let go of judgment. Let go of the judgment of how you look, or if you're doing it right, or if you look weird. And just allow yourself to feel and experience. Let's take about 3 more rounds here. And then eventually we will meet back in our first downward facing dog of practice. So you can get there in your own time, and you can even get there in your own way. And then as you settle into your down dog, check in with all parts of your body. Start with your foundation, which is your hands. Make sure your hands are at least shoulder width distance apart. Fingers are spreading nice and wide. Think of gripping the ground with the pads of your fingertips. So like you're a gecko holding onto a screen door. And then see if you can really find strength in your arms. So rather than just kind of sinking into your joints, feel the strength in your arms as you push the ground down and away. Then lift up through your sit bones like there's an invisible rope attached to your belly button, pulling up towards the sky and tugging slightly back. So how much length can you create not only in your spine, but even in your side bodies? See if you can lengthen the space underneath your armpits. See if you can feel strength in your back body as you press your chest, your heart back. So breathe into this posture, and if you want to bring in a little movement, maybe you pedal out your heels or shift your hips from side to side, shake your head yes or no. Big deep breaths. So inhales that create space and that create buoyancy. So each time you inhale, get a little bit lighter. Each time you exhale, find your center. So take your exhales all the way to emptiness. And then at the bottom of your exhales, navel draws towards your spine. You find what we call Uddiyana Bandha, your core lock, that connection to your center. Take 1 more big inhalation. Lift your hips as high as you can. And then exhale, gaze to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Pause here for just a moment. Feet about hips width distance apart, all 10 toes face forward. Go anywhere you want. So maybe a ragdoll pose, grab opposite elbows, maybe hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. So take a moment to just be in your fold. Keep your weight slightly forward, so make sure you're not rocking back into your heels. Imagine you're trying to rotate your inner thighs back, wide, and apart. So your sit bones broaden and your low back lengthens. You can have a little or a big bend in your knees, but imagine that invisible rope. It's pulling up on your belly button. It's lifting your sit bones higher towards the sky. Take 1 more deep breath. And then next time you inhale, find your spinal extension, halfway lift. So all the rounding out of your back. Exhale, let it go, refold. Do that again. Inhale to a halfway lift. Crown of your head reaches forward, tops of thighs press back, sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold. And then this time, come through your halfway lift and continue to rise. So lead with your heart all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's flow with our breath. Inhale, high mountain, stretch tall. Lead with your heart, hinge at your hips, slow dive. Exhale as you take it all the way down, forward fold. With your inhalation, find your halfway lift, so lengthen. And as you exhale, release, let it go, refold. Root through your feet, lead with your heart, rise to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gaze up, open up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, just like that. Maybe close your eyes this round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, ride your breath down. So feel your body as it moves through space. With your inhale, find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. From the press of your feet, take it all the way up, reverse swan dive. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, arms reach up. And then this time, exhale, just a little baby back bend. So cactus your arms, chest up towards your chin, take your throat back slightly. Inhale, re-extend and realign. Exhale, follow your breath all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. And this time, exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, plank position. So you're at the top of a push-up. You're welcome to come to your knees at any time if you'd like to modify. Take an inhale and really push the ground away. Rock slightly forward onto your tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway down. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Don't let your belly drop. Inhale, press back up. Do that again. Exhale, little rock forward, lower halfway. So think of just a really slow motion push up. Inhale, press up. And then this time, exhale, as slow as you can go all the way to your belly. Inhale, start with a baby cobra. So shoelaces press down, pelvis presses down, and then lift your chest up. At the same time as you lift your chest, imagine you're trying to lift your belly button up away from the ground. So it probably won't happen, but just create that action. Now keep everything, so all the strength you've just created, float your hands up and reach your hands back towards your heels. Shoulders roll back and down. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine and see if you can lift a little higher. Try not to let your feet lift up, so shoelaces are pressed down firmly. Use all the strength in your back body to lift. Take one more big inhale, lift, lift, lift. Exhale, let it go. Ha. Spider-Man Cobra. So bring your hands out nice and wide. Lift to your fingertips. Inhale, lift your chest. Your elbows should point straight up towards the sky. Exhale, twist to the right and dip your left shoulder down. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, twist to the left, dip your right shoulder down. Move slowly with intention. Inhale, come back to center. Go one more time in each direction. So try not to rush through it. Move with your breath and let your breath guide you. Feel into the mobility in your shoulder girdles. Put your awareness in your shoulders. Put your awareness in your spine. Feel into it. Eventually, an inhale will bring you back to center. Heart lifts, belly tones. And then with your exhale, you can let it go. However you want to transition, do it with awareness. Downward facing dog. So you can make it a little bit of a challenging transition. Maybe come through a reverse push-up. You might come through a tabletop or a child's pose. Completely up to you. And then we'll see you back in down dog. So one more time in our down dog, we'll take a few deep breaths. My invitation for you, if you would like, is to turn this into a turbo dog. So the only thing we're gonna change is our arms. Bend your elbows a ton like you're doing a push-up, and then squeeze your elbows in towards each other so your forearms hover just about an inch or two above the ground. So it's almost like you're in dolphin pose, but not quite. Keep lifting your hips really high. Lengthen through your spine and your side bodies. Everybody soften your face, unclench your jaw. Loosen up through your forehead. And then can you feel those big, spacious breaths flowing through you? Can you feel that buoyancy with your inhale? And then that connection to center with your exhale. Make your breath just as important as the physical practice. Take one more inhalation. Lift your sit bones just a little bit higher. Exhale, look to the top of your mat. Step or hop, forward fold. Once you have arrived, find your halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet and take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, arms to the sky. Now pause right here. We're gonna get right into balancing. Right foot is your base. Lift your left knee up, standing staff. Flex your left toes, active through your left foot. Hug in with your inner thighs. So take a moment to just balance here, breathe here. Feel the connection to your center so your belly button pulls in and up. Take one more big inhale. Now as you exhale, low lunge. See if you can get fingertips and toes to touch down at the exact same time. We're going to go back and forth through those two postures a few times. So inhale, rise up, standing staff. And exhale, slowly with control, low lunge. Again, try to touch down with your fingers and toes at the same time. Continue moving up and down, back and forth with your own breath. So one breath, one movement, or two breaths, one movement, whatever works best for you. Just be intentional and make sure your breath is really big. It's supporting you as you flow through these postures. It's cold in my basement this morning, so I gotta get us warmed up right away. Take about 2 more rounds, and we're gonna end up in our standing staff pose. So next time you're in standing staff, just stay there, hold there. So left knee is lifted. Good job, you guys. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, curtsy squat. So your left leg is going to swing all the way around behind you. Step your left toes off the right side of your yoga mat. Hands to heart, bend your knees, and sit into this little curtsy. You want your hips square, so pull your right hip back, left hip forward, and then just start to take little pulses with your legs up and down. Just about 2 or 3 inches of movement, so stay low. Keep breathing, keep your spine long and your belly toned. Now get as low as you can, take one more round. Good job. Next time you inhale, high mountain. So both feet on your mat, both arms to the sky. Exhale, heart guides all the way down. Slow dive, forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. This time, you take your vinyasa however you want. So you're welcome to add a couple of push-ups. You're welcome to take it on your knees, substitute cat-cows, skip it all together, up to you. Just back to downward facing dog. Reconnect to your breath, fire it up, make it powerful. From your down dog, next inhalation, extend your right leg to the sky. So for this one, hips are square, inner thighs face each other. You can bend your left knee and come up to the ball of your left foot as you lift your left sit bone up. And then with that bend in your left knee, see if you can reach your right leg a little higher, make it straighter, stronger, more powerful. Take one more inhale, press up with your right foot, press down through your hands. Exhale, right knee to your nose, so hips really high in the air. Stay here as you breathe in and think of pushing the ground away. Exhale, softly step your right foot through, and then rise up to crescent lunge when you're ready. So front knee over front ankle, high on the ball of your back foot, strong through both legs. Ever so slightly, pull your right hip back, your left hip forward, so you feel your inner thighs hugging towards midline. You feel your low abdominals tone. Lift through your chest, reach through your fingertips, and then soften through your face and your shoulders. Find your breath. Maybe even close your eyes. Feel this posture from the inside. Nice work, you guys. Take one more big inhale. And then exhale, turbo twist to the right. So bend your back knee, hover it above the ground. Left arm forward, right arm back. Twist from your center, from your belly button. Make sure you're not reaching or leaning forward. Your weight is nice and centered. And then squeeze through your inner thighs. See if you can twist a little further, maybe even gaze back over your right fingertips. Take one more deep breath, and if you want to get crazy, back knee kisses the ground. Inhale, come back to crescent lunge, and straighten your front leg. So back leg stays strong and powerful, back foot stays strong and powerful. Squeeze your inner thighs, engage through your right quad, the front of your right thigh. Now bring your arms into a cactus position. Little balance challenge. See if you can find a baby back bend. So chest up towards your chin, gaze up, and start to take your throat back. Bottom tips of shoulder blades hug your spine. Low abdominals stay strong. Take one more round. Inhale, crescent lunge. So bend your front knee, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to the ground. Now listen, step your back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, spinal extension. Exhale, bow, refold. Root through your feet. Rise all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gaze up. Now pause. Left foot is your base. Right knee floats up, standing staff. So if your legs are burning and you need to take a moment, just give them a shake out, that's fine. Standing staff when you're ready. Hug in with your inner thighs, flex your right toes. Find your balance here, find your breath here. We're gonna go back and forth through staff and low lunge. So one more inhale into our staff pose. And then exhale, slow with control. Low lunge, fingertips and toes touch at the same time. Inhale, come back up to your standing staff. So travel back and forth at your own time and pace with your breath. Really push down into your left foot as you rise. And really stay connected to your center as you lower down. Slow and steady. Lots of awareness. Let that heat build in your left leg. Breathe into it. Take about 2 more rounds, back and forth. Good job, my friends. So next time you are in standing staff, hold there. Right knee lifted, hug in with your inner thighs. Good. Take one more inhale here. Then as you exhale, curtsy squat. So right leg swings all the way around behind you. Right toes come off the left side of your mat. Bend both knees, hands to your heart. Keep your hips as square as possible. So left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. Take those little pulses up and down. Again, only about 2 to 3 inches of movement, so stay low. Keep your spine long, belly toned, face soft. Keep breathing, slow and steady. Get as low as you can. Hold one more round. Inhale, high mountain. So both feet on your mat, both arms to the sky. Stretch it out. Exhale, slow dive down. Halfway lift as you breathe in. And exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, take your vinyasa however you want. Option to skip it if you'd rather. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Alrighty, from your down dog, next time you inhale, left leg to the sky. So press forward and down with your hands, up and back with your left foot. Hips are square. You're on your right tiptoes. Your right knee can have a big bend in it, like you're gonna pounce forward with your right leg. Lift your right sit bone, and then really extend and lengthen through your left leg. Get it as strong and as long as you can. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, left knee to your nose. So keep your hips really high. Curl in, round your spine. Stay here as you breathe in. And then exhale softly. Left foot steps through, low lunge. And then we'll rise into crescent. Good. So find stability through your legs. Pull left hip back, right hip forward. Hug in with your inner thighs. Tone your low belly. Lift through your heart. Reach through your fingertips. Deep breaths. And then, oh, Amy, you're back. Okay, I was going to say, and then there were two. Glad you're back with us. All right, so take a moment, just breathing into your crescent lunge. Maybe close your eyes. Feel it from the inside. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, twist to the left, turbo twist. So back knee bends and hovers. Right arm forward, left arm back. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Think of pulling your left hip back and your right thigh forward. And then see if you can twist just a little bit further. Maybe gaze back over your left fingertips. If you want to get really crazy, back knee just taps the ground very, very gently. Take one more round. Inhale back to crescent, but straighten your front leg. So engage through the front of your left thigh. Squeeze through your inner thighs, back leg strong and powerful. Bring your arms to a cactus position. And then think of lifting your chest up towards your chin. Gaze up, little baby back bend, low abdominals stay strong. Bottom tips of shoulder blades squeeze. Legs strong, one more round. Inhale, back to crescent, bend your front knee, realign your spine, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Step your back foot forward, forward fold. Good job, you guys. We're gonna pause in our forward fold for just a moment. You can take any variation you want. So if you need to give your legs a little shake out, you're welcome to. Maybe you step onto the palms of your hands. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Maybe you even want to tuck and curl. Find a little tiny potato bug ball and just hold here for a moment. So your pose, your expression, and then just slow down your breath. Make it big, spacious, powerful, strong. Good job, my friends. We're going to go through that entire sequence, one breath, one movement. So if at any time you need to slow down or you need to rest, that's perfectly fine. If you can move with me, breathe with me, awesome. So big, deep, spacious breath, slow and controlled movement. Next time you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bow in. Root through your feet, take it all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. And here we go, let's flow. Inhale, arms reach up, left knee floats up, standing staff. Exhale, low lunge, fingertips and toes touch at the same time. Inhale, right back to your standing staff, left knee lifts. You can extend your left leg for more intensity. Exhale, curtsy squat. Swing your left leg around, hands to your heart. Bend your knees, get low. Inhale, high mountain, stretch tall. And exhale, slow dive. Take it down, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, chaturanga. So keep that exhale going as you lower. Inhale, heart lifts and opens. Exhale, hips lift, downward facing dog. Big inhalation, take your right leg to the sky, stretch and lengthen. Use your core, soft as you can. Exhale, right foot steps through, low lunge. With your inhale, high crescent lunge, rise up, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, turbo twist to the right, so left arm forward, right arm back, back knee bends and hovers. Inhale, come back to center and straighten your front leg, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend, open up, challenge your balance. Inhale, come back to crescent, so bend your front knee, reach up. Exhale, hands to the ground, step forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet, take it all the way up. Inhale, arms to the sky and right knee floats up, standing staff. Exhale, low lunge, tap your fingers and your right toes down. Inhale, back to your standing staff, option to extend your right leg. Exhale, curtsy squat, so right toes off the left side of your mat, bend your knees, get low. Inhale, high mountain, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, lead with your heart, hinge at your hips, slow dive, forward fold. With your inhalation, lift halfway. And exhale, plant your hands, feet to the back of your mat, move through your vinyasa. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, lift your hips. Big, huge inhalation, left leg high, active through your left foot. Now, like you're stepping over something, exhale, left foot steps forward, low lunge. Inhale, high crescent, rise up. And exhale, turbo twist to the left, right arm forward, left arm back, back knee bends. Inhale, back to center, straighten your front leg, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, cactus your arms, open up, little baby back bend, keep your low abdominals strong. Inhale, back to crescent, bend your front knee, reach up. Exhale, hands come down, back foot steps forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Root through your feet, rise all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We've got one more round. Listen carefully. We're going to mix it up just a little bit. Inhale, arms reach up, left knee floats up. Now listen, exhale, airplane pose. So arms back and left leg back. Inhale, come back to standing staff. Option to extend your left leg forward. Exhale, curtsy, squat, swing your left leg around, sit low. Inhale, high mountain, reach high. And exhale, slow dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, chaturanga. Try to keep that exhale going. Inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. All right, listen here. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Use your obliques. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right armpit, so as high as you can get on your right arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to your nose, and then step your right foot through, low lunge. Inhale takes you up, crescent lunge. Exhale, turbo twist to the right, left arm forward, right arm back, back knee bends. Inhale, back to crescent, straighten your front leg. Exhale, little baby back bend, cactus, cactus your arms, open your heart. Inhale, back to crescent, reach up. Now listen, exhale, warrior three. So press into your front foot, back leg floats up. Stay here as you breathe in, lengthen as much as you can. Exhale, forward fold, land at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms to the sky. Float your right knee up into space, standing staff. Exhale, airplane pose. So right leg back, arms back. Little smiley face shape with your body. Inhale, come back to standing staff. Stay balanced on your left foot if you can. Maybe extend your right leg forward. Exhale, curtsy squat. Swing your right leg around, hands to heart. Get low. Inhale, high mountain. Both feet on the ground. Root down and reach up. Exhale, slow dive. Take it down, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands. Feet step back, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, grow into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, you guys. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Now listen, exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left armpit, so as high as you can get on your left arm. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, knee to your nose, softly step your left foot forward. Inhale, crescent lunge, rise up, strong through your legs. Exhale, turbo twist to the left, back knee hovers. Inhale, crescent lunge, straighten your front leg, squeeze your inner thighs. Exhale, cactus your arms, little baby back bend. Inhale, come back to your crescent lunge. And with your exhale, warrior three, fly. So root into your front foot, back foot floats up. Stay here, take a great big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, top of your yoga mat. Good job, you guys. Inhale to a halfway lift. Now listen, exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. This time, end up in child's pose, embryo pose, or hero's pose, just a kneeling position, seated meditation. So your choice. Slow, steady, deep breaths. Just take a moment to reconnect with you, to feel into your body, to feel all that energy that's moving through you, that's flowing through you, this energy that is always there. It's always inside of you. We just can't always feel it. It's not always as apparent or as obvious. Take bigger, deeper inhales, longer, stronger exhales all the way to emptiness. Give yourself about 3 more, just restorative, connecting breaths, so connecting back with you. And then as you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. it's safe to say we are all warmed up. I am for sure. From your down dog, next inhale, right leg to the sky. And then this time, peel your right hip open. So bend your right knee, squeeze your outer right glute, and think of stacking your right hip on top of left. This is a great place to stay. You can get a really, really awesome stretch here. Option if you'd like to flip your dog. So right tiptoes, step down behind you, right arm lifts and reaches forward. Turn your heart to look up at the sky. You might even bring your right hand behind your head. Press your head into your hand, hand back into your head. See if you can lift your heart higher, open even more. Take one more round wherever you're at. End of your exhale, we will all meet back in a regular three-legged dog. So right leg extended. Huge inhalation here. Exhale, use your core strength, right foot to the top of your mat. All right. Bring your hands to the inside of your right foot and walk your right foot out to the width of your mat, and maybe walk your right foot forward a little bit as well. So imagine you've got a rope attached to your tailbone and it's pulling up towards the ceiling. So what I don't want you to do, if you look at me right now, is this. I don't want your hips to drop. I want your hips to stay lifted. And then, using the mobility in your right hip, you're going to start to melt your heart closer to the ground, lower your upper body towards the earth. So for some of you, you might just walk your hands forward a little bit and that's it. For others, you may bend your elbows, and some may be able to come down to your forearms. Just keep your legs strong and your hips lifted. If you want less intensity, your back knee can come down, but don't sink into your hips. So this is a different variation than we sometimes take in this posture. I think it's harder. See if you can just be okay with that and breathe into it. If you need a different variation, you're always welcome to take it. You know that. Take about 3 or 4 more deep breaths. If possible, hips high, heart melts down. Breathe into your right hip. Good job, you guys. Exhale out your mouth anytime. Lots of sensation, lots of intensity. Just sit with it. Soften around it. Take just one last breath. Biggest breath you possibly can take. And then rise back up to your hands if you're not there already. Walk your right foot back to midline so you're framing your right foot with your hands. And then we're going to move into pyramid pose. So step your back foot in just about a foot or so. And then I personally prefer all 10 toes facing forward, my feet on 2 railroad tracks rather than a balance beam. It's up to you. Inhale to a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your front shin, or if you have blocks at home, you can use your blocks. So with your spine nice and long, bring a bend into your right knee for a moment. And then I want you to slowly re-straighten your right leg by lifting your right sit bone up and tilting the right side of your pelvis forward. See if you can get your right quad, the front of your right thigh, to fire up and get strong. And then once you've got that, see if you can keep that, slowly work into your fold. So think belly, then ribs, then chest, someday forehead to your shin. Hands to the ground if that works for you. If you want to keep your hands on your front shin, that's fine. Sometimes I even like to bring my hands to my hips and kind of use that to guide my hips towards squareness. So right hip up and back, left hip forward and down. Take about 3 more rounds. Slow, steady, big, spacious breaths. Use your exhales to dive deeper, to fold further. So draw navel to spine, and from that place, fold just a little bit further. Take one last round. End of your exhalation, we'll transition to standing splits. So walk your fingertips forward a little bit, float your back leg to the sky. Your choice if you want to keep your hip square or let your left hip open. Just make sure you don't collapse into your right hip. So if your right hip just got lazy and kind of shot out to the right, hug in with your right inner thigh, lift up through your belly button. Take this wherever you want. So maybe right arm behind right leg. Maybe you plant your palms, gaze forward, lift up to your right tiptoes. You can bend your right knee and use your right leg as a springboard to take little hops towards handstand. If you play with those hops, keep your left leg straight, strong, and powerful as you kick up. Wherever you've chosen to go, about 2 or 3 more breaths. Good job, my friends. Take one more inhale. Maybe lift your left leg a little higher. You're awesome. Now listen, exhale, left knee to your nose. So just a little crunch, curl in, round your spine. Now inhale, reach your left foot all the way to the back of your mat, low lunge. Take just a moment here. And then we'll re-extend our right leg to the sky for our 3-legged dog. It might feel good to give our right leg just a little shake out. Any movement that feels good. We're going to come into pigeon. So as you're ready, right shin to the top of your mat. Set your body down gently. Right knee wider than your right hip. Plug the femur bones into the socket. So pull right hip back, left hip forward. Try to get your hips straight across from each other. And then once you feel that structure, that strength of the pose, start your bow forward, start to soften. Breathe. Slow, steady, deep breaths. And even as you're bowing forward, energetically, think of dragging your right hip back towards the back of your mat. And then if you want to go deeper from there, you can inch your back knee back a little further. We'll be here for about 5 to 7 more breaths. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. So almost always when I'm in a hip opener, I notice I'm clenching my jaw a little bit. So bring awareness to that. Allow your face to soften, the inside of your mouth to soften. Take about 3 more breaths, and if you want, you can exhale out your mouth. And then you guys will meet back in down dog. So I'm just going to say, get there however you want to. I'm not going to give you any direction. So you can move through tabletop, you can move through a vinyasa, you can take your right leg back and up, give it a nice shake out. So anywhere you want to go in your next couple of breaths, we'll see you back in down dog. All right, my friends, from your dog pose, inhale your left leg to the sky. And then slowly peel your left hip open. So bend your knee, reach your knee out to the left, then up. Squeeze your outer left glute, flex your toes. You can stay right here. This is an awesome stretch for your hip and your groin, or option to flip your dog, find your wild thing. So left toes come down behind you, left arm lifts and reaches forward. Maybe you even bring your hand behind your head. Press your head into your hand and your hand back into your head. Lift your heart higher. Wherever you are at, one more huge round of breath. And then we'll meet in a three-legged down dog, left leg extended high. So take a big inhale to lengthen, and then nice and softly step your left foot forward, low lunge. Hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out wide to the width of your mat, and maybe even forward a little bit. Now, remember, we don't want our hips to drop down, so that's the lazy way to do this pose. Hips dropping down. Keep your hips lifting up. That invisible rope attached to your tailbone pulling up, and then see if you can start to soften your heart, let it melt towards the ground. So maybe you just walk your hands forward a bit, maybe you bend your elbows a bit, maybe you come down to your forearms. Try to keep as much of your weight as possible, kind of pushing over to the left rather than sinking to the right. And if you want less intensity, your back knee can come down gently, but keep your hips lifted. So it's just a different variation than we sometimes take, letting our hips sink towards the ground. So hips lifted, and all the mobility is coming from our outer left hip. Send your breath into that space. Let the intensity be there, and just breathe into it. I promise you can do anything for 4 breaths. Exhale out your mouth at any time. See if you can get your heart just a little closer to the earth. Try to keep your spine nice and long rather than rounding a lot. Last couple rounds here. Just sit with that intensity. You've been doing it all year long. All right, let's lift back up to our hands if you're not there already. Walk your left foot back to midline so you're framing it. And then pyramid pose, so back foot steps in about a foot or so. And again, I prefer my feet on 2 railroad tracks, all 10 toes face forward, up to you. Inhale to your halfway lift position, hands to your front shin, or if you have blocks or books or water bottles you're using at home, that's great. Bring a bend into your left knee for a moment, and then re-straighten your left leg by lifting your left sit bone up, so like you're trying to tilt the left side of your pelvis forward. So say you had water in the left side of your pelvis, in your pelvic bowl, you'd want to pour that water out the front of your pelvis. Lift your left sit bone up, engage through the front of your left thigh, and when you're ready, start to drape your torso over your front leg. Forehead to your shin someday, maybe in your next life. Every exhalation, pull navel in and up, dive a little deeper, fold a little further. Slow, steady breaths, strong exhales. So use your breath to create space on the inside. Last couple of rounds. Nice job, my friends. From here, we've got one more balancing posture, standing splits. So left foot is your base, right leg floats up. Spread your right toes, right foot active. You choose, hips stay square, your right hip can open. Just make sure you don't collapse into your left hip. So left inner thigh hugs in, belly button lifts up. Take it wherever you want. Play with your balance. Maybe wrap left arm behind left leg. Maybe take your hops, handstand hops. They don't have to be big, and you never have to arrive anywhere. You're just exploring, you're just playing. Couple more rounds wherever you're at. Good job, you guys. Take one more inhale. Reach your right leg high. Exhale, curl in. So right knee to your nose. Round, little crunch. Inhale, extend your right leg back up and then reach it all the way to the back of your mat. So back to your low lunge position. And then from here, we'll take it back into our three-legged down dog. If you want to give your left leg a nice little shake out, go for it. And then pigeon pose. So eventually, left shin, top of your mat. Set your body down. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. So hug towards midline first. Find the strength in the structure. And then start to melt into the stretch. Breathe. Slow, deep breaths. Perhaps close your eyes. Visualize with your mind's eye your breath flowing all the way down into your outer left hip. Unclench your jaw, loosen through your forehead. Loosen through your fingers, your hands. Take about 5 more rounds. And your last 2 or 3 breaths, if you want, exhale out your mouth. So just think of literally breathing out tension, breathing out stuck energy. Good job, my friends. And then I'll leave it up to you when you feel pretty much even on both sides with your pigeon. Again, however you want to get there, we'll meet back in down dog just in your next few breaths. So any movement you want to take on this side, any little exploration you want to do on this side, and then eventually downward facing dog and walk it out. So as you move into your last down dog, just feel all the strength in your body, all the length, all the space you've created. Feel your big, deep breaths moving into all the little spaces. And then from down dog, find your way into a child's pose or an embryo pose. Take about 2 or 3 rounds, just resting and letting the ground hold all of your weight. And as you rest in child's or embryo pose, just think of the word grounding. What does that feel like in your body? Maybe it feels heavy. Maybe it feels slow, steady, all-encompassing, sense of rootedness, sense of stability. So allow yourself to feel this and connect with the ground, connect with the earth. And then rise up to hands and knees. And let's transition down onto our backs. So if you want to grab any extra clothing, put on socks or a sweatshirt, feel free. And then find your way down onto your back. And once you're there, just any kind of gentle movement that calls to you. You can hug your knees in, gently rock from side to side. Maybe a full body stretch would feel really nice. And then you guys just find your way into a supine spinal twist of your choice. So you can go in either direction first, and you can take any variation you want to. Chest is square towards the ceiling or towards the sky. And then breathe down into your belly. Gaze in the opposite directions that your legs are falling, or gaze straight up. And again, ground down. Feel a sense of grounding in your body. And feel not only the ground supporting you, but even imagine that the ground is kind of reaching up, coming towards you, cradling you, holding you. I feel like we have all felt at some point, or at many points this year, groundless. We felt like we're floating, or my therapist says it's like I'm Tarzan swinging from vine to vine, and right now I'm just in between vines. I'm just hovering. So we've all felt that hover, that hanging in the unknown, the uncertain. Start to find more of a sense of grounding, this connection to the earth, its stability, its support. Feel into that inside your body. Embody that. And then as you're ready, just in your next couple of rounds, take your twist to the other side. So as you transition, take a moment to neutralize. You can just give your knees a big squeeze or take a little rock. And then when you're ready, legs over to the other side, chest square towards the sky. Gaze up or over your opposite shoulder, breathe down into your belly. Let the ground support you completely. So rather than trying to resist and hold yourself up, staying kind of in that fight or flight state of mind or state of being, see if you can just relax. Make your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales. Start to find more stability in your foundation. And then I'll leave it up to you when you feel pretty much even on both sides. Start to make your way back to center. Find a happy baby pose. So you can rock around a little bit in your happy baby. Explore in any way you want. And if there are any more postures, any more movements, any more stretches you want to take, then give yourself a few breaths to do so. I love Dane's happy baby, looking so good. And then as you're ready, you guys, just start to make your way into your final relaxation. And I'm going to read this poem that Kim read in our class last night, and I just thought it was the most perfect reading for New Year's Eve. So it's by John O'Donohue. He's an Irish poet, and this is called For a New Beginning. In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside of you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered. Heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent. Wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream. A path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. So for these last few breaths, or for these last few moments, I should say, just rest in this place where you are and know that you will awaken to a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning. And can we choose to unfurl ourselves into the grace of it? Move in a path that is at one with our life's desire. So this is where I will leave you guys today. Rest here for as long as you'd like. If you have just 30 seconds to spend that 30 seconds. If you have 10 minutes, spend 10 minutes. Just resting, relaxing, feeling the ground underneath you, feeling into this new beginning. And just allow yourself to soak it all in. Thank you guys so much for joining me. When you are ready, you can close your practice for yourself in whatever way resonates for you. I am so honored that I've been able to teach you throughout this strange year and that I've been able to see you on this online platform that's a little different. So thank you for showing up. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.